Dear friends, today we are going to discuss a fundamental property of real number system. Okay, first we consider an example. So let us consider the set of all rational numbers which is positive and whose square is strictly less than 2. Okay. Then the first observation is that this set is non-empty. Why? Because 1 is there. So the set is non-empty. Okay. The second observation is the set is bounded above, because square of every element is strictly less than 2. So obviously it's strictly less than 4, and since each element is positive, so every element is strictly less than 2. So this implies S is bounded above. Okay. So this is an upper bound of S. Now question. Question, which element is the least upper bound? Next question, if the least upper bound of S, that is supremum of S, is K, if K, then whether K belongs to Q or not. That is, the first question is which element is the least upper bound of this set, and second question, if K is the least upper bound, then whether K belongs to Q or not. Okay. So in this discussion we assume that the set S has a least upper bound. Okay. So we don't answer the question 1. Okay. We assume that yes, the supremum of S exists. So we assume it. Okay. Now we deal with the second question, that if supremum of S is K, then whether K is rational or irrational. Okay. So we assume that supremum of S exists and it is K. We also assume that K belongs to Q. Okay. Since K belongs to Q, so obviously K belongs to R, and so this implies S, K square belongs to R. Okay. So by law of trichotomy, either K square less than 2 or K square equal to 2 or K square strictly greater than 2. Okay. So case 1, we assume that K square is strictly greater than 2 and K is rational. Okay. Now we construct a new number U as 4 plus 3k by 3 plus 2k. Okay. Since k is a rational number, so obviously u is an rational number. Okay. Now first observation, u square minus 2 is same as k square minus 2 by 3 plus 2k whole square. Okay. since k square is bigger than 2, so u square minus 2 is bigger than 0. Okay. And the next observation is u minus k is same as 4 minus 2k square by 3 plus 2k, and obviously so this is less than 0. Okay. Thus this implies is u square is bigger than 2 and u is less than k. So if this is the set S, then the element k does not belong to S, as well as the element u does not belong to S. Okay. So u and k both belongs to outside of the set S. Okay. And moreover, u is smaller than k. So here the element u and here the element k lies. Okay. So we observe that the element u is bigger than any element of the set S. So u is an upper bound, and as well as u is strictly less than k. So k cannot be the least upper bound. So this leads to a contradiction. That means k square strictly greater than 2 and k belongs to q cannot happen. Okay. Now we consider case 2, that is k square equal to 2 and k belongs to q. But already we have seen that square of any rational number cannot be 2. So the case 2 cannot happen. Okay. Now we consider case 3, that is k square is strictly less than 2 and k belongs to rational number. Okay. Here we also construct a rational number as 4 plus 3k by 3 plus 2k. Since k is rational, so u belongs to q. Okay. It is easy to calculate that u square is less than 2 and u is greater than k. Since u square is less than 2 and u is rational, so this implies is u is an element of the set S. Okay. Now since u is bigger than k, so this implies is that in the set S there exists an element u which is bigger than the least upper bound, and that things again impossible. So we have seen that the set S, defined as set of all rational numbers which is positive and its square is strictly less than 2, is a non-empty bounded above set, and if its supremum exists, then that supremum cannot be rational. Okay. Now we are going to discuss the completeness property of real numbers. Okay. And that is the final assumptions on the set of real numbers, and a lot of analysis we can do using this completeness property of real numbers. Okay. So we first to state the completeness property of R or supremum property of R. So this is an axiom and this is the final axiom on the set of real numbers. Okay. So let S be a non-empty subset of R. Okay. So S is a non-empty subset of R. If S is bounded above then S has the supremum in R. That is, every non-empty bounded above subset of R has supremum in R. This axiom shows that a non-empty bounded above set has a supremum inside the set of real numbers. Okay. But that supremum may not be belonging to the set S. Okay, thus the set S of positive rational numbers whose square is strictly less than 2, this set is non-empty bounded above. Okay. So by supremum property, sup of S exists in R, not in Q. The axiom help us to ensure the existence of supremum in R. Okay, and already we have seen that supremum does not belongs to Q. So this is an important example, because if S is non-empty and bounded above, then by axiom we can say that the supremum exists, and that supremum must belong into R, and our previous calculations shows that supremum not belongs to in Q. Okay, so this supremum does not belongs to the set S. Okay. Okay. The analogous property for infimum can be deduced from the supremum property. That is, result. If S is non-empty subset of R and bounded below, okay, then S has the infimum in R. Okay, so this property can be deduced from the completeness property of R. Okay. So for this, let us construct a set T, collection of all those elements whose negative is in S. Okay. Then obviously T is non-empty, right? Check that T is bounded above. Since T is non-empty and bounded above, so by completeness property of R, supremum of T exists and that belongs to R. Okay. Now our claim is infimum of S is nothing but negative of supremum of T. Okay, and this property can be done by using the alternative definition of supremum of S and infimum of T, and that definition is discussed in our previous lecture. Okay. So if a set is non-empty and bounded below, then by completeness property of R we can prove that set has the infimum inside the R. Okay. So next exercise. Let this is a non-empty bounded subset of R. Since S is bounded, so supremum of S and infimum of S exist. Okay. If T is a non-empty subset of S, then infimum of S is less or equal to infimum of T less or equal to supremum of T less or equal to supremum of S. Okay. Okay. So this part is obvious, that is infimum of T less or equal to supremum of T. Okay. Now, since S is superset of T, so the set S contains more elements than T. So obviously the extra element may be the supremum of the new set. So obviously supremum of S is greater or equal to supremum of T. Again, since T contains less element than S, so this part is also obvious. Okay, one example. So let us take S equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and T equal to 2 and 3, okay. So obviously this is a T is a subset of S. Here we see that supremum is 4 and for T supremum is 3, okay, and for S infimum is 1 and for T infimum is 2. So using this example one can easily see the statement of the exercise. Okay, thank you.